Mm.
29th of July, Rabbi Furst, Pierke, Avos.
Good morning. Yeah, good morning again. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here. Shin Saman Nafshi Yom Shwan here. Zoom. Our first year on Pirkei Avos. We're going a little bit digression now. We're Maram Prague was discussing with us the topic of Zikna and also the connection between the mitzvah of honoring the sages and also juxtaposed next to that in the Torah Kedosha is the mitzvah of giving respect to the ger. What's the connection between the two? So briefly, the Maharal was explaining that since those who are ages, the sages, the advantage of the sage is that his wisdom is dominating over his physical body and desires. And likewise, the ger has made a decision by coming into the fold of Klal Yisrael to lead a more spiritual life. And therefore, they will have that connection. So now we mentioned Avram Avinu being the first of the Gerim. So now he mentioned that we should take a look what he writes here in his Sefer Gevuras Hashem Perek Test, 9th chapter. That's where we're going to begin. So I'm not sure where it's going to take us, but hopefully we'll get to the point we need to learn about. So let's begin, and we'll see where the Maharal wants to explain various different things. They'll be discussing in depth about Avram Avinu. That's really what we want. Okay. Yeah, who would like to begin to read this morning?
I do. Achar shekavar be'arno me anin hamar'eh hazeh hagadol v'hanora. So afterwards, after that we explain the subject, what is hamar'eh?
Right. Hamara, that was that I believe was the Bris Bene Besarim. That was the great vision that Avram Avinu was privileged to have by Kadosh Baruch Hu, the Bris Bene Besarim.
Okay, so after we explained the matter of the Bris Bene Besarim, which was great and awesome, Yesh lecha lehis bonain b'devar hazeh she'amar chasuv in Bereshis Yado Teda Ki Ger Yeh Zaracha Avadom Va'anu Osam. There is for you, what is Lahis Bonain?
Hisbonate is to consider, to ponder,
There is to you to ponder this matter that is stated in Bereshis. You should know Teda is now.
You should certainly know. Yodea Teda.
Oh,
You should certainly know.
know that a convert is from your seed.
Well, the word ger actually, we refer to a convert as a ger, but the word ger is really a stranger, right? So because a convert is in fact a stranger amongst us. So ki ger zarecha. If you want, this is a part of the chapter there in Bereshis. If you want, maybe you want to see the context of the pasuk. If you have a Chumash Bereshis there, Perek Tes Vav, you want, it might be worthwhile seeing it inside the whole context of the parsha.
Tesvav. Okay, what pasuk?
I'll tell you in a moment. In Parshas Lech Lecha, Parshas Lech Lecha, that that's in starting in a second. Yeah, that's it. Pasuk Yud Gimel.
Vayomer Avram. I'm sorry. The Avram. Yadateda ki ger yeh zaracha ve'eretz lo lahem vadum ve'inu osam arba maos shana. So he said to Avram, know with certainty that your offspring shall be strangers in a land that is not theirs. And they will enslave them. And oppress them 400 years. Okay, so ki ger yeh zaracha va'avadum va'anu osam. Shall certainly know that strangers, they will be, your offspring will be strangers in a land. I'm sorry, no, Zaracha va'avadum.
They will subjugate them there. They'll be subjugated there.
And they'll be subjugated. And va'anu, and they will subjugate them. Okay, so that's that. Al ma charei ha'af hagadol hazeh she haya Omer lo hakadosh baruch hu kach. So concerning what's charei?
So this is as you recognize the Hakadosh Baruch Hu's promised to Avraham Avinu about Shibud Mitzrayim, right? That Avraham Avinu was getting the promise here that his offspring will have to go. He didn't know it was going to be necessarily Mitzrayim, but he understood that his offspring would have to go and be subjugated by another nation.
Right. And what is
Okay,
this
so
word?
okay, that's that. I think that's good. We could probably return to the Ramaral now. That's just to see the context of the pasuk is teaching us here.
Okay, where is that?
Okay, so let's go back to the Maral. Second line, right?
Yeah,
Alma
I'm reading there. I said Alma Chare. What is the word Chare?
it's a chari af. Chari af is a fierce anger. Af is anger. Chari is fierce anger.
Okay.
Hmm.
Agdo Hazeh. Shehaya Omer Lo Hakadosh Baruch Hu Kach. And what is this fierce anger that that leads Hashem to speak thusly?
Right.
V'hinei Haramban Zal Nosein Ta'am L'Davar. And we see that the Ramban of blessed memory gives a reason for this. Mipnei Shehi Avraham Mevi Es Sarah. I've got to excuse myself for a minute. Maybe somebody else can take over.
All right. Mayor, you want to continue? What was the Ramban in his Perush and Chumash gives a reason for this? Why was this Gezerah made? Kadosh Baruch was upset, so to speak, at Avram Avinu. Why? So Mipnei Shai Avram maybe Sarah bin Nesuyin Gadol. Avram Avinu put Sarah into a great test.
Oh, you're muted. No wonder you can't hear me. Yeah, there was noise outside, so they're doing construction or something. Okay, so let's see. It says, Migdeshaya Avram, Mevi Etzar, Benisayon Gadol, okay, a great test. Shamar Achoti, that he said that she is my sister. Oh.
Right. So that was it. If you remember, that was when Avram Avinu was going down to Mitzrayim, right? So he came to the border of Mitzrayim, and he told Sarah that she should say that she was in fact his sister rather than to say that she was his wife.
Okay. Vilakacha Paro Ayidezeh. And what Pharaoh took her?
Right, and through this, because Pharaoh understood she was a single woman, right?
Right.
So Pharaoh took her. Now we have to understand, Avramino didn't tell her to say they were sister and brother just because of no good reason at all. the way it would have been that if he had said that she is his wife, so they would have killed him, Avram Avinu, because they were very careful about not being involved since the time of the Mabul. That one of the primary causes of the Mabul was that they used to not respect the sanctity of marriage and the fidelity that's necessary to keep to the sanctity of a of a marriage. So since they were parts pluralius, that's what actually Rashi brought down at the end of um, the last weeks of Parshas Bala. That Bilam, when giving the Eitzah, the advice to Midian that they should let their daughters try and entice the Jewish people. So this was a very big sin on the part of both Bilam giving the advice and Midian taking the advice, because as Rafi mentions, up until that time, people have been very careful about being involved with illicit relations, because that was one of the primary causes of the Mabul, right? So going down to Mitzrayim, Avraham Avinu was faced with the fact that if he would say that they were married, so since they were very careful not to be involved with illicit relationships, they would have killed Avraham Avinu. Shvikas Damim wasn't so serious in their eyes, right? But it was more serious to violate a married woman and violate the fidelity of the marriage. So that was very serious in their eyes. Where he said, "Say to them that you're my sister, and therefore they won't kill me." So that's what Sarah did. But as the Ramban is being quoted here as saying, that still nevertheless put Sarah into the hands of a great Nisoyan, a great test and trial.
Right.
Okay, let's continue.
Okay, they say, okay. B'shvil zeh hevi hakadosh baruch hu et zaro b'mitzrayim gam kein.
Oh, for this reason, right? For this reason, the apparent reaction of the Kadosh Baruch Hu because of this placing Sarah into the hands of this threat of being with Paro. So because of that, the Klal Yisrael had to go down to Mitzrayim. Okay, let's continue on.
Okay. Let's see. Ukamo shehevi al paro nigiim gedolim kach hevi hakadosh baruch hu al mitzrayim nigaim gedolim.
Likewise, right? Likewise, the Kadosh Baruch Hu brought great plagues on the Egyptians.
Oh, right. Okay. Looks like and on Paro himself too.
Yes,
It looks like.
that's great.
Okay. Okay. Ukamo sheshalach Paro et Avraham the matnot rabot.
Matanos, great.
Oh, matanot.
Many,
Oh, right. He gave him many gifts, right?
many gifts.
Okay, so Pharaoh gave Abraham many gifts. Okay. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Kach Yatsu Yisrael b'rechush gadol. Oh, so Yisrael had great possessions.
we went out. We went out when Claudius ruled Egypt. We left with great booty,
Right.
Rechush Kadol. So basically, the Ramban is saying you see many parallels between Avram Avinu's going down to Mitzrayim with Sarah, and Klal Yisrael is going down to Mitzrayim and coming up out of Mitzrayim as well. See many parallels. So therefore, the Ramban is learning that that was the reason why Kadosh Baruch Hu was demanding that Klal Yisrael go down to Mitzrayim and be subjugated there. That had to do with this seemingly decision of Avram Avinu to go to Mitzrayim and to place Sarah in jeopardy. Apparently, according to the Ramban, that wasn't supposed to be. That was not such a decision that Hashem was happy with.
Didn't Abraham though go down to Mitzrayim because there was a famine in the land?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Right.
Question is,
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you want to say,
I
man?
was just wondering, he probably went down to Mitzrayim to purchase food to bring back to.
Yeah, I mean, he had definitely good reasons to do it. But the question was, knowing that it's going to be a Makam Sakana, especially for Sarah, she'll be taken. Perhaps she should have perhaps done something else. This is the Ramban. Now the Maharal is going to bring questions on this whole concept. That see, primarily the question is, we don't see that Chazal criticized Avram Avinu for going down to Mitzrayim and placing Sarah in jeopardy. So it's very hard for us to say that that's the case over here.
Ah, okay. Very good. Ukavar, Higshu Alav Kishiyot Ad Shenakar Perusho Mikol Vikol.
Oh, now, Kvar Hikshu Alav Kushois Ad Shinakar Perusho Mikol Kol. And it's already been asked questions on the Ramban's question until Ekar Perusho Mikol Kol, meaning they basically there are so many questions on the Ramban's explanation here and on his questions that they basically disregard the Ramban's commentary here. Primarily because you can't really criticize Avram Avinu in ways that Chazal have not criticized him. As I mentioned, there was no criticism of Avram Avinu for doing this. So for us to say something is being done as a punishment to Avram Avinu for something that he's not even criticized by Chazal, either the Midrashim or the Gemara, that you don't see that, so you have no right to assume that was the case.
Okay, good. Shaharei Achar Shenigzar Galut Alav Chazar Verham Kishahalach Ligror the Amar Achoti He.
Right. Shahari Achishigoiza Golis Alav, Pos Avram Kishaholek Legror. He went to Gror. Remember with Avimelech, he went there to Gror and also said the same thing. Right?
Oh, right.
This is after there was a Gezer of Golis. Yeah.
Where are we? We're in the second paragraph, the second word now. Thanks. It's he. That's the last word I read. Okay, so ve'ech yitaken zeh she'achar shechata, or is that shechet?
Right. ואיך יתקן זה שאחרי שחטא ועונש, also עונש גדול יחזיר לחטא. Meaning, the question is like this. If, according to the Ramban, Avinu received the punishment that his offspring would have to go to Mitzrayim and be enslaved there, subjugated there by the Egyptians, if that was an onus for him going down to Mitzrayim to begin with and placing Sarah in danger, if that in fact was a punishment for Avraham Avinu, because he did that, the question is, when he went down to Gror and he did the same thing, how could it be possible that Avraham Avinu would go ahead and do the same thing that he got punished for already? It's not logical at all to suggest that.
Oh.
Right? Even if it was true that was the reason why he had to go, and his offspring had to be exiled into Egypt and subjugated by the Egyptians, but even if that was true, he never would have done the same thing, which earned himself such a punishment. They would never done that again. Right? And he's punished nevertheless for his mistake. But once he knows he made a mistake, and once he knew he got punished for it, he's certainly not going to do it again. Now you can't say that. You can't say such a thing about Avraham Avinu.
Right. Okay. Chalila Lamarkach. Okay. The od Yitzchak she'amar gam kain achoti he. Oh, he said the same thing. Okay. Lama asar ze achar she'avraham ne'anash ek yechatei Road. I'm not sure.
The Chalila Olomar Kim Chas v'Sholem. Heaven forbid to say such a thing like this, that Avraham would do a chet originally, and then after he's receiving a punishment, do the same chet again. Chas v'Sholem, you can't say that. V'oid. Furthermore, Yitzchak she'omer gam kein achosihi lama sezeh. Yitzchak also said to Rivka, right, when they went to Gror, he said also that you're my sister. Say that you're my sister, so they shouldn't kill him over the fact that they wanted to steal his wife, right? So Yitzchak also did the same thing. Lama also said, how could he do that himself if Avraham was punished in that very same thing? How could it be that he would do a chet also? Right? It's completely illogical to think that they were getting punished for that. Okay. I mean, we follow the question.
Well, I follow the question, but historically, Yitzchak wasn't born yet, right? When Avraham and Sarah went to Egypt.
Right, that's right. He was not born yet, correct. So the question,
he just knew that this happened? Is that
no? Well, no, but now when Yitzchak went to Gror, right? And he told Rivka to say that he is the brother and she's the sister, rather than they being husband and wife. He's basically following the same mistake, so to speak, that Avraham made. So obviously it couldn't have been a mistake. if Avram Avinu made a mistake, and if because of that mistake he got a punishment, that his offspring would be now sent into exile and enslaved, knowing that, would never have done the same thing. Right? He's not going to do the same thing and make the same mistake as Avram Avinu.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so that's basically the question.
Okay. So v'yesh acherim min hachronim shehotziu milbam odavar acher.
And there are those latter authorities. These achronim that the Maral, again, the Maral should know the Maral lived leaving the 1600s, if I'm not mistaken. I could double check. So he's referring to achronim. So achronim, those are people who like recently preceded him. So they're probably living in the 14th and 15th centuries, right? I'll tell you exactly, just to get that clear. Yeah. The Maharal Prague was born in the year 1520.
Oh, okay.
That's a good
14th century.
500 years. Yeah,
15.
500 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were there in Prague. Lou and I were there in Prague by the kever of the Maharal. Yeah.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
So he said, so those achronim. So achronim, he's referring to achronim, meaning achronim were people, Gedolei Israel, who lived recently before him. So that would probably be in the 1400s or so.
Okay.
Which we refer to them almost as Rishonim, yeah.
Okay, so it says, let's see, She'amru Shechet Hagalut he L'chet Hashvatim B'Mechirat Yosef.
So there are those of the Achronim that they want to explain differently. That what meaning they're searching for reasons why we had to go to Egypt and be enslaved in Egypt. What was the cause of our necessitating our enslavement in Egypt? After all, Kadosh Baruch Hu loves Klal Yisrael. Why would he want to do such a thing like that? Right? So much suffering. Right?
Okay, let's see. Right, Shechet Hagalut. Okay, right. Who the Chet Hashvatim? Oh, B'Mekirat Yosef. It was for the selling of Yosef. Well, hold it. That was selling of Yosef was afterwards.
The selling of Yosef was after what?
Oh no, it was before the Jews went down. Okay, right.
That's right. That was the selling of Yosef. And that was that's what set it off. That was really the catalyst of the eventual descent of Yaakov and his sons, his family to Mitzrayim, which eventually led to the establishment of Klal Yisrael in Mitzrayim, which eventually turned into our shibud, our servitude,
Right,
and
right.
subjugation there.
Okay. V'af Yosef Chet Mipnei She'al Yado Hayta HaMechira.
Right, that even the Chet of Yosef, that because it was the selling of Yosef, Yosef Garam said, Yosef himself had a hand in causing that.
Oh, that was the taunting and teasing of his brothers.
Yeah, that had a lot to do with it, sure.
Hmm. Okay. Let's see. Sheyosef garam zeh she'im lo hevi. 1 second. Davar el aviv lo irara.
Right, that Yosef was garmless. If he lo diba el aviv lo yiraz, if he hadn't spoken to his father, uh, disgracing his brothers, this wouldn't have occurred, right?
Oh, oh, okay. Right. Okay. 1 second. She'al yidei tzon hayta hamechira kediktiv v'yelchu lirot tzon avihem b'Shechem ulefikach al yidei tzon yardu lemitzrayim. Ki ein mar'eh letzon asher la'avdicha.
That's to be enslaved, right?
Ah,
That V'nei she'al yidei tzon haisa mechir, they mean tzon, he went to, his father Yaakov Avinu sent Yosef to inquire about the welfare of his brothers who were tending to the flocks. Because right, V'elchu liros, they went to pasture, tzon, the flocks of their father, Peshem or in Shechem.
ah, okay, 1 second. Oh, in Shechem. Okay, let's see. Are you red? Okay, l'avdicha. Okay. Elu, Devarim Asher Amru Kitzat Min Acharonim.
Right. Right. Elu devarim asher amru katsas melach. These are some of the things which are said by some of the latter-day authorities.
Oh, okay. V'Devarim Elu Hem Domim L'Tzorah Hamitzuyot, no, Hamitzurat HaKotel.
I said, and these things, I mean, these commentaries, they're like things which are like pictures, Mitsurim Holocaust, pictures which are on the wall.
Oh, they're like pictures on the wall. Wow. Okay.
So this
Asher.
is somewhat of a criticism. He's saying these. I mean, it's not really an accurate. Apparently, what he's saying is not a really accurate description of what's happening and the causes of why this should be. That just as the pictures on the wall right, are only slightly representative of the actual events that they're describing, right? This is also not exactly a true indication of what was happening, what the real reasons were. We still have to understand clearly what was the real reason for us destined to be enslaved in a foreign land. Why was that? That's the big question. Why in the world were the offspring of Avram Avinu destined to become enslaved in a foreign land? Why, why? That's what we have to understand.
Oh, I thought it was because Hashem told Abraham that. I mean, how it was done is another. Maybe that's a why question. But, okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
Ashir
I'm
Hamid.
kind of listening with half of my attention. I just want to interject something. Wasn't it that when Abraham said, "How will I know?" that Hashem said, "Oh, I see that there's a flaw in Abraham that needs to be fixed, and therefore I'm going to send the Jewish people down to Egypt to fix that flaw."
That could be one of the reasons, but at this point, uh, let's put it this way: the Ramban didn't give that explanation, nor did the other Achronim that argue on the Ramban, right? So the morale at this point is going simply with what was written previously, right? So I've heard that too. That is, I think, one of the reasons that's given. When that reason was interjected, we'll have to see. I'm not sure. I don't know. But yeah, that would be a possible explanation. At this point, that has not, however, been introduced yet here, right? It may very well be introduced, right?
Okay. Let's see. Asher HaMitzuyer Meyafeoto Uvisrad It Er Ota.
Here, um, that what's the uh, the unsatisfactory aspect of what's being described up till now. Asher Hamitzar miyafa also mishader yoser oise. That the Mitzayer, he's going to, the one who paints a picture is usually going to paint the picture. He's going to embellish it more than the reality was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And Ad
So
Kash, yeah.
yeah.
Ad Shikasher uh Ireh Haroeh
Rachok, the person, meaning when
Merachok.
a person will see it from far away,
Oh,
meaning what's the idea the person's gonna draw a picture on a wall, right? Roy, the point of a person drawing something on a wall is when a person's going to see it marachok, he's going to see it from a distance. Yomer, he'll say, Sheish bo ruchaim, look, it looks like it's alive.
Merachok. Okay, so let's see. Yomer Sheish, but right, it looks like it's alive. Ukeshe Karov Eleha Hine Hu Davar Tzavua V'chol Ruach Ein Bo Kach Hem Elu Ha Perushim.
So he says here, Ukisha Karv when he gets closer to that picture that's drawn on the wall, Hine lo it's just a painting. He discovers it's just a painting. Recall ruach ein bo kach heim elum meforsh. And all ruach, any life in it doesn't exist. And likewise with these explanations. I mean, the morale is not happy with any of these explanations. It's not happy with any of these explanations. So now, okay, so I'm going to stop here. I think the time has come. So now we're in the third beginning of the third paragraph. He's gonna obviously offer his own explanation, which we'll see
Would
tomorrow,
there,
Mitzvah.
would there be an element of
Okay, thank you. Very good.
would there be an element of purification of the people?
Well, the question is, why do they need purification? It's true. There's even a pasuk to that effect. Like that we use it. It's the Koro Barzo. It's the smelting pot. And it takes the dross out of the ore of metal, right,
Right.
through the intense heat of the furnace. So
That's right.
Mitzrayim did that for us.
Yeah.
But the question is, why would we need such purification? What was wrong with us to begin with? And why was it in response, apparently, to Avram Avinu? What did Avram Avinu do that brought about this response on behalf of the Kadosh Baruch Hu? That's the big question. That's the big question.
Okay.
And we'll hopefully get a answer at least from tomorrow, Mitzvah. Good. Let's take a little break till tomorrow. Roy, have a good afternoon. Hope to see you tomorrow. And